shots that I'm not going to put it on the offense, and the sense of we missed some open shots that we were making in the first half. But we've got to learn how to finish a team off, execute better. We've certainly got to learn how to listen better out of timeouts, which has been an ongoing problem for us the entire year. It's got to get better. And we got to find a way to close. And that was a very good team, a team that's very deserving of their ranking. Bobby's an outstanding coach. There's no question about that. And they're a deep team. They're a physical team. And they did a great job closing us off at the end. And we had our opportunities, and we just couldn't do it. So, go ahead.
So when you talk about listening better out of timeouts, what did you want to happen on the inbounds pass there?
Not what happened. I wanted the ball passed to Tyree to get a screen in the middle of the floor. And I've got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job of making sure that I have more and more people prepared for those type of situations. It's just a simple inbounds pass. But we got to do a better job of listening. We got to do a better job of reminding, coming out. Just throw it in and we get the screen in the middle of the floor. And the play before that, we had 2 timeouts. All right, and you can't make the inbounds pass because it breaks the side out of bounds. Call timeout. And but we're botching too many plays. A little bit of it is you just got to stay. I don't want to say calm. There's no way you're going to stay calm, but you got to stay poised under that level of pressure, right? You can't take off and leave. I mean, these are, you get into those type of situations. They're set plays for a reason, and we rehearse them a lot. Right? We rehearse them a lot. We don't rehearse them against a team that's got a length that Arizona State has, but in both of those situations at the end of the game, there wasn't enough pressure to stop us from doing what we wanted to do. We stopped ourselves. And we've got to learn to be better there, all right? And I've got to do a better job. So that's the bottom line with all those situations.
More questions?
Coach, we talked briefly about turnovers this weekend. You guys get up 18 in the first half and did a terrific job and controlled the ball.
I'm sorry, we had what in the first half? What did we have?
18-point lead.
Oh,
in
okay.
the first half.
Turnovers, yeah.
And then turnovers just sort of came out of nowhere all of a sudden. You were talking about a lot of them unforced. Where do you think that's coming from?
Well, this is truly, and I'm not going to come in here and just say, hey, I got to go study the film all the time. That's when I got to look at it a little bit, because we missed some shots that we were making. Some guys just weren't open, right? And we're trying to, at the end of the game, there's something that we want to do. Here's how we want to execute it. Now then, there's the freedom inside of it once it's in. But a couple times out of timeout, we tried to force passes that weren't there. One that stands out is the pass Torian tried to make to Nick coming out of the timeout. He wasn't even close to free, right? But again, our point guard in the game at the time didn't run the play the right way. I mean, we've just got to do. We've got to get better at execution, and that's all part of the turnover game. Sometimes it's on the break, sometimes it's at the clock, sometimes it's early on in it. There's no rhyme or reason that live ball turnovers kill you. And one problem that we've had is we are not strong enough with the ball. It's one thing to not be imposing physically, right? But we can't be weak with the basketball. We've got to get stronger with the ball. And we've got to have that carryover into games, because it's not like this is the first time we figured out we're not very strong with it. And we work on it constantly. But we've got to get that carryover to come into the games. That's why we have our bigs handling the ball as much as they do.
Coach, how, can you take the positives from night like tonight where you've got the number 20 team in the country down, in the closing seconds of the game, and then on the flip side of that, how, does it get frustrating at a point when your team, puts up 47 points in the first half and 27 in the second half?
Well, I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to just keep coaching and tell them what I think and what we've got to do. Did we do some good things? Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that we did. The crowd was absolutely phenomenal and loud and into it. And one part I said, man, this is fun, right? I mean, it's a festive crowd. It's hot in here. The music's blaring, the band's playing. I mean, this is good. Just relax and play. But we've got to learn. We've got to learn, and it's going to be part of the growth process. What we've got to learn is how to put somebody away, right? And that's what we've got to have, right? We've got to learn to, but you got to make your free throws, okay? You've got to execute 3 stops in a row, 3 scores in a row. Those things are huge, and they're no bigger time than at end of games. And so we'll study the film. We'll do our best to bring them out in practice. And much like we're going to see in the SEC, we're not replicating that length. And we're certainly not replicating the physicality of a Dort and guys like that in the backcourt. You know, Lawrence, Remy Martin played a phenomenal game. He's not an overly physically imposing guy. He's very quick. We couldn't keep him in front of us. But those other guys, those are big, strong guys. And we're going to see a lot of that this year. So we've got to figure out how we're going to overcome that inside of our team. So I'm not frustrated and I'm not discouraged, disappointed without a doubt. But get right back up there, study the film, and know that we're turning around against a team that's got a 25-point-a-game inside score on Tuesday night, who can shoot threes at 50% or better, and a bunch of other three-point shooters around them. And so we're not going to have much time to sit there and wallow in what we didn't do. We've got to get up and make sure that our one-on-one defense is good, make sure that we're not over-helping, make sure we're not leaving shooters. Now, I don't know if our talk is going to improve considerably between now and Tuesday night, but it's got to continue to get better. And I've got to do a better job constantly. We had foul situations tonight. This is the first time in our time here that we've had to really, really navigate the foul game, you know, with what we had. And that'll happen again. Losing Ray really hurt us tonight. It really, really hurt us with as much time was left in that game. And that's not an excuse, it's a fact. And but we've just got to take advantage of doing more and finding ways for guys to be able to fulfill those roles when they're in the game like that.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the foul situation, and it seemed like your bigs had a lot of trouble. You know, you can't complain about officiating per se, but were you pleased with the way the game was called overall tonight? And
I'll watch the screening. I respect that crew, and Tony and Don especially. I mean, they've done it for a long time. I didn't know Philip, but I mean, Tony and Don have done it for a long time at the highest level. So I'm not arguing that. But we got to learn from it because they said we were wide on our screens, and we really work hard to make sure we're not wide on the screens, especially with the new rule that went in a year ago. With if you're inside of your feet or outside your shoulders, it's a moving screen. And Derek's third call, you know, I thought he went straight up, but they said he got over the top. I mean, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain about that. We've got to continue to get better play. We're playing three bigs, right? So what happens is it's three bigs for three spots, but that also means you got to have guys be able to come off the bench. I thought Jordan Harris did a phenomenal job at times when he had to guard inside. You know, we need more from some of our other bench guys. It's going to be part of it. It won't be the last night that we have foul trouble. But we've got to be, we've definitely got to recognize when we have foul situations, and we got to play with a little more poise. That doesn't mean we give up layups, but we can't come down and beat down at the ball and get our hands. We've got to be better than that.
Any more questions?
All right, thank you very much.